Hey guys, and welcome back to ZRZ. In this video I'm going to be comparing the new PS4 Slim console with the standard PS4 console, and this should hopefully help you decide whether you feel you need to upgrade to the PS4 Slim console, or if you're freshly buying a PS4 console and you can't decide whether to go for the Slim or the standard PS4 console. At this point you could probably still buy the normal standard PS4 console as well as the PS4 Slim, but it has been reported that the standard PS4 is now out of production, so there won't be any more produced. So yeah, without further ado, let's look at the PS4 Slim console itself. As you can see, the design is very simple. It does keep the same sort of angled and divided design of the standard PS4, but it's a lot more simple. You can see it's just like the plain black plastic with a slight glossy PS logo at the top. The corners are rounded, which looks quite nice as well, but overall similar shape to the standard PS4. It's a lot smaller and thinner, as you can see, compared to the standard PS4, which is quite nice. And if we take a look at the front, we can see similar layout with the disk drive and the USB ports, and the USB ports are separated out a little bit. Hopefully that should prevent any issues with like large USB adapters from not fitting. And then also at the front there's the on and off button there and the eject button. And obviously the standard PS4 console had a huge light bar across the top, or the light strip, to show when it was on standby and things like that. Now the PS4 Slim just has a tiny dotted LED on the on button to show you the sort of status of the PS4 console, which is barely noticeable to be honest, but we still have a light at least. And on the other side, at the back, there is some ports, of course, and they're pretty much the same in terms of the power, auxiliary, HDMI and the Ethernet port, but there is no optical, so you can't connect optical directly to this PS4 Slim console. You'd have to do it through your TV or something, whereas the old console did have an optical directly on the console, so that's one thing that's been removed. And then here we have the HDD cover, which is a really thin piece of plastic, and there's a screw there and you can slide out the HDD, so we can still upgrade our hard drive on this PS4 console, which is great news. But this plastic is very thin and fiddly. And there we have a nice design with the PlayStation X square triangle circle logos. In the circle logo there's actually a thread, and that's the way the vertical stand is going to be installed on this console, so it's literally going to thread into that circle logo there. Taking a look at the bottom of the console, we can see same design as the top really, except it has these rubber feet, which are the PlayStation X square triangle circle logos, which is quite a nice little touch. But other than that, design is super simple, and it does look nice in your TV or gaming setup, but it's nothing special, if I do say so myself. It's just a nice looking console overall. One thing I did want to mention about the build quality is that it's quite cheapy and plasticky. You can tell they've cut corners to reduce the cost of this console, because obviously this is going to be cheaper than the standard PS4 console, and you can tell by just the way the plastic feels. Like for example at the back or the bottom of the console, it's like really loose plastic, like you can feel that it's thin and loose at the back of the console, which just tells me that this isn't a premium and well built console, and you can just see that they've cut corners to reduce the cost. Now, talking about the internals and the specifications of the PS4 Slim, overall it's the same console. It's going to do the same thing, it's going to play the same games, it's going to do everything, except obviously I did mention the lack of optical port, which may or may not be an issue for you. But one positive improvement with this PS4 Slim console is that it does now support up to 5 GHz Wi-Fi, whereas the older PS4 console only supported up to 2.4 GHz. Also, one thing I did want to mention that is it does seem as though the fan is a lot quieter on this console, but if you're curious to how that sounds, there will be a separate video with the fan test of the PS4 Slim versus the standard PS4, so definitely check that out. Talking about the controller, which also comes with the PS4 Slim, there are differences with the controller, and again I've made another video taking a detailed look at the new PS4 Slim controller and comparing it with the old one, so definitely check that out. There'll be a link in the description. So it all really comes down to your personal situation and preference. I mean, if you're on a tight budget, then the PS4 Slim is going to do the job. It's still the PS4 that we know and love. It's going to play the same games, it's going to do everything the same way, just at a lower price and a smaller build, which is quite nice. But if you're picky and you just like the more premium design of the standard PS4, then that's something you would go for. And so it's not really a huge difference, it's just budget and personal preference that comes into play. But that's pretty much it with this video. Definitely stay tuned to the channel and check out our other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.